let's head over to Tau and watch a foal that had an unfortunate fall, I suppose. So as you can imagine, this really scared a lot of us. The foal is stuck in the mud, and that's Mum. And I mean, even watch the rescuers. They had to put down a stick, which is something we do often when we need to walk on the mud, or even if we're driving in the mud and we get stuck, we can put some sticks under the tires. So it's risky even for them.
We know that there's crocodiles there. There's lions in the other area. Do you think, like, if a predator had maybe been paying attention at that moment, it would have been a different story for the foal overall?
If it sunk into the mud and then didn't really do much, it really wouldn't have drawn the attention of anybody. Like, if you're stuck and you don't know what to do, just be like almost play dead in a way. The foal didn't do much at all. It almost allowed the humans to pull it out. I think the foal is exhausted because that mud, even though you can't be moved from it, it's not unmovable. And that's the tricky part, because you still, if you feel a little movement, you just keep going, keep trying to get yourself out, even if the top half you can't see. And so I think exhaustion played a role, and I think a little bit of shock as well, or a freeze response. Oh, so that's what I really wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what kind of sound she was making, because that is the mum that was alarm calling there. So she was alarming only once the foal started to be handled, or when humans were nearby.
You know, when I was watching this, I thought the foal might be just exhausted from the ordeal. But we'll see, I think, in just a little bit that it seems to have quite a bit of energy, and maybe it was a little confused about who it should hang out with next.
No, I think you're right. There's definitely a level of exhaustion. So now the guides are trying to help it and lead it to its herd and to Mum.
It was almost like imprinting on the vehicle or the people in that instance.
But I'm surprised at how well it followed the vehicle. There comes Mum.
Yeah, that surprised me as well. I was surprised it even followed the vehicle at all. Probably, you know, I don't know how much experience it has, but certainly it's not like, you know, it's taught to follow vehicles from a young age.
Exactly, and she almost has to she's trying to nip the bottom of the zebra, like to try and get its attention. Hey, I'm here. You can stop following them now.
Luckily, there was, you know, staff from the lodge there that came in and they decided to intervene. Can you talk in general just about maybe what that decision-making process might be for game reserve staff in a situation like this?
Each single reserve has its own set of policies. Certain places or certain reserves have their policy, other reserves have their policy, and sometimes it can change as well. We think about a lot ethically in terms of dilemma. How do I do this? Should I do this? What is the reserve's policy? Nobody's told me about this specifically, but it's so easy to just kind of just pull her out. And by the time you've gone through that whole process, more often than not, that animal has managed to come out on its own or managed to resolve the situation on its own. So sitting, waiting, and watching for a little while, I think is, like you said, it's the most prudent thing you can do.